Hello, my name is Seren Adams. I am founding attorney at Adams Law Office. For today's episode, we're going to be talking about probate and what exactly probate is. I know in several of our other videos we talked about the need to avoid probate and it being a negative thing. So we wanted to go over exactly what the probate process is like and why to avoid it. So first of all, probate, I think the biggest thing to think about is it's a court process. And so ideally you're avoiding any kind of court interaction because you're not in control of the outcome oftentimes in a court process. There's a judge in charge, there's an administrative agency in the probate process that's also involved in making decisions about whether what you've submitted is adequate and whether additional information is needed. There are deadlines involved. And specific things that have to be filed and followed in order for things to get approved. So submitting yourself to that process is oftentimes stressful, and if you aren't familiar with it, it can be overwhelming. So the administrative burden of that aspect of it is one of the primary reasons that we try to avoid it for our clients, because no one wants to be put into that situation if you can avoid it. One of the other big things to think about, I often describe probate as suing yourself after you've passed away for the benefit of your creditors. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do that if you can avoid it. Because you can maintain assets within your family, pass them on to the next generation, and potentially to charities or whomever you choose in a different way. You don't have to do that through this court process where you don't have control. One of the other big things to think about, probate is costly. In Maryland, it's capped at a certain amount, but even the cap still takes a significant amount out of your estate. So for example, if you have an estate of about $500,000, the probate cost could be up to $20,000 or more for that size of an estate. And that's not even a large estate when you think about the values of homes in the area, when you think about insurance proceeds, if those are coming into an estate, all of those types of factors can play into the size of an estate and really cause an issue in terms of the assets being diminished for the people that you're really wanting to benefit. So the cost of probate is one of the other big issues to consider and to try to avoid on the probate process. Another issue would be the delay in distributions. So in Maryland and DC, you're talking about 6 to 7 months in terms of the probate process at a minimum, just because of the objection and the claim deadlines that are put into place by the courts. So these estates have to stay open for a specific amount of time. And for most estates, the additional things that you have to do in those estates cause it to be open even longer. So on average, you're talking about 12 months to 18 months for many estates to stay open. And so that can delay the distributions to your beneficiaries. One of the other issues with probate is that it is public. So oftentimes clients will contact us and say, I keep getting letters and calls from various companies trying to get after assets or trying to do this or that with the things going on in an estate. So one of the things to consider is that you're opening your family up to these predatory individuals at a time when they're least able to really rationally think about things or really decipher who is legitimate, who is going after legitimate means or going after assets that actually should be delegated to other family members. So one of the ways that you can make sure you're protecting your family is to make sure they're avoiding all of these issues and that your estate does not have to go through that process at all. And you can do that through a trust. That's usually the planning mechanism that we advise to use because a will still goes through probate. If you just have a will in your estate plan, that estate does go through that probate process. So we do recommend a trust to avoid the process altogether of probate. Hopefully that information is helpful. Be sure to subscribe and follow us so that you can be notified when we have any new videos available. And if you'd like to set up a consultation with one of the attorneys at my firm, you can schedule a consultation online at adamslawoffice.com, or you can call us at 301-805-5892. See you next time.